Well, we're standing here in one of our contest fields in southwest Missouri. I hold a world record for soybean production at 154 point something or other, and our farm average has been over 100 bushels acre the last couple of years. Our soybeans look really good this year. Hopefully we have something good to announce here pretty quick, but we'll just have to see on that.
Okay. Who's here? Anybody been to the Olympics before? You're right here at the Soybean Olympics. Well, right. Congratulations. Thank you.
So this year, basically what we did was we just totally threw everything we knew out the window. And we started from scratch, basically we got stuck in a rut. And the only way I've ever been able to learn anything on my farm was by my failures, never by my achievements. So we just went out there right off the bat. We planted our soybeans the 13th and 14th April, which is a little early. And then we come back in there with like a Cobra or Blazer and hit them with a full rate at about the 2.5 trifoliate stage. Soybeans only about this tall, and absolutely just smoked them to the ground. Basically what we did with our Cobra was we sprayed it, you can tell right there, which caused them to branch. And this particular plant here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large branches, and then you got a smaller one or two. But what it does here is you shorten up your internodes. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12. And you can tell right where the Cobra or Blazer, either one you want to use, wears off, and you go back from 1 inch, you go to these 3 and 4 inch. But this particular plant's pretty good shape. But if we could just figure out how to do that about 230,000 times an acre, we'd have no trouble making 200 bushels. Primary, everybody in this area is pretty well John Deere. There's a little bit of that off-brand stuff, but primary, everybody's John Deere. The reason I like John Deere is, I guess, just the name, John Deere is a good name, but the nice thing about them is if we break down, we'll have the parts there the next morning, and that is it's hypercritical. I mean, I know that's not a word, you're not going to find that in Webster, but I use the term hypercritical all the time, and when I start using the word hypercritical, my John Deere dealer, they go to jumping. You're running this big stuff. We're running 24 rows central fill planter, 1770 now. You can't afford to be broke down because we're trying to plant 40 acres an hour, and there's only 24 hours in a day, and you just cannot be broke down. Instead of running 2 12 rows, we're running 1 24 or 2 24s, and and we run the 9770s and 12 row heads, and you just cannot afford to be broke down. You've got to be able to go every waking hour that it's dry enough or the conditions are right to be able to go. You want deer because we picked behind 2 trimmels this year because they was actually planting 16 row. One of them was with an 8 row head. I wasn't the one combining it, but one guy that helps me combine, he runs an 8 row head, and the one with the 12 row planter, I mean, you'd be cutting longer. You cut 7 rows, and all of a sudden you're cutting 9, and then all of a sudden, it was just a bad deal. I mean, just crisscross, and your gas row is terrible. With ours, you can't find a gas row. I mean, you literally cannot find a gas row with the Deere guidance. We're Green Star too, and we got all the push button screens, and it takes me a little longer to learn it than it does Andy that's 30 years old that works for me. Matter of fact, I have to holler at him and say, hey, I need to get to such and such page, and why is it doing this? And he just goes bam, 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 and he's got me there. But the agriculture's changing. It won't be that long we won't be driving the tractors. There'll be one guy driving a tractor, and there'll be 2 tractors following behind, and John Deere is working on some stuff that the combine's here, and you're dumping on the go in the grain cart, and it won't be long, and that combine operator will be able to control the grain cart, so you're not having a stroke because the grain cart's running off and leaving the combine. But I think there's a lot of new exciting things coming in agriculture. They'll be blowing past my yields way before I'm dead and gone, but that's fine, because whoever breaks, I'm gonna go talk to them and see what they did and see what I can learn from them to try to increase my yields.